When we talk about the birthstone for June, most people think of pearls, and for good reason. Pearls look so pure and peaceful, and their beauty has made them the top pick for June's birthstone for ages. But here's something cool that not everyone knows. June doesn't just have one official birthstone. It actually has 3. 2 other special gems also share the spotlight with the pearl, and they are Alexandrite and Moonstone. In this video, we're going to dive into these 2 gems. They might not be as famous, but they are super exciting. Let's explore the mysterious world of Alexandrite and Moonstone together. Alexandrite is like having 2 stones in one. What's super cool about it is that it completely changes its color when light shines on it. The way Alexandrite changes color is because of tiny things inside it called chromium atoms. These little atoms actually take the place of some aluminum atoms in the stone's crystal structure. These chromium atoms soak up and bounce back light in different ways. It all depends on the kind of light that's hitting the stone. In sunlight, where there's more blue and green light, Alexandrite looks greenish, but under warm man-made light, like a lamp, where red and yellow light are stronger, it shows off a reddish or purplish color. This special thing you see, it's called the Alexandrite effect. And this only happens because chromium is there, inside the chrysoberyl crystal. Now this color change is not the same thing as something called pleochroism. With this, it's not about which way you look at it, but what kind of light is shining on it that changes what we see. And if that wasn't cool enough, sometimes Alexandrite can even show a cat's eye effect where a single line of light seems to dance on the stone's surface. The cat's eye effect is a really special light effect. It looks like a thin, bright line of light is floating on the stone's surface, and it moves when you turn the stone. This effect is caused by super tiny fibers or tube-like bits inside the stone. They're lined up in almost neat rows. When light hits these little threads inside the stone, it bounces off them. This creates that cool, sharp line of light that makes the stone look like a cat's pupil in the light. And that's how it got its name, the cat's eye effect. You can see this effect really well in what's called the Alexandrite cat's eye. Besides changing colors, this makes the gemstone even more unique and valuable. The story of this stone is really something special, especially when you think about how we study gems and the history of jewelry. Alexandrite was first found way back in 1834 in an emerald mine in Russia's Ural Mountains. At first, the miners and the rock experts thought it was an emerald because the stone looked greenish in the daylight. That is, until they looked at it at night under the light of a lamp. That's when they saw the mineral glowed a totally different color, a kind of reddish purple. Now, this really cool color change, of course, got the attention of the scientists back then. At first, they thought the stone was an emerald, and that made sense because of its greenish color. But when they took a closer look, they found out it was different from the emeralds they knew in a few ways. The stone was super hard, and it showed a totally different color under artificial light, so that meant they needed to study it more. After lots of tests, they finally realized this was a brand new type of mineral. It didn't just act differently with light. The way it was built and what it was made of were also totally different from any gemstone they knew. It turned out to be a rare, special kind of chrysoberyl. So chrysoberyl, that's a mineral made of beryllium and aluminum oxide, and its most famous and valuable type is Alexandrite, all because it can do this amazing color-changing trick. Now, it just so happened that the day they found it was also the birthday of the guy who would later become Tsar Alexander II of Russia. So, to honor him, they named the stone Alexandrite. So the stone's colors, the way it's green in daylight and red at night, that had a very special meaning for the Russian people. The way Alexandrite changes color reminded people of the Russian military flags. It especially made them think of Tsarist Russia's official flag, which had white, blue, and red stripes. You see, the gemstone looks greenish in daylight, and then it shows a reddish color in the evening or under man-made light. And for Russians in the 1800s, this stood for the flag's bluish green and red colors. In the second half of the 1800s, especially in the Tsar's court and among the very rich people, Alexandrite really showed you were someone important. The wealthiest people loved to wear tiaras, brooches, earrings, and signet rings decorated with Alexandrite, often with diamonds or emeralds too. Today, Alexandrite is mined in several countries because the original mines in the Ural Mountains are all used up, or they only give a tiny bit now. The most important places we find it today include Brazil, where they find really good quality stones that change color a lot. There are also big mining spots in Sri Lanka, Madagascar, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. In these places, they mine Alexandrites that are different in quality and how well they change color. But the most valuable stones are still the ones that show a really strong and amazing color change. Alexandrite is special not just for how it looks, but for its meaning too. It's known as a stone of luck, change, and inner peace. Its cool color change is eye-catching, but its meaning is much deeper. This stone connects most with people who are open, flexible, and want to express themselves. It suits creative, curious folks who like to try new things and aren't afraid of new paths. It's for those who don't always fit in, who bravely show their true selves and are ready to change when life calls for it. This gem isn't for shy, careful types. Alexandrite's energy is active, vibrant, and full of life. Just as the stone changes from green in daylight to reddish in lamplight, its wearer often has many different feelings and thoughts. They're not static, but always changing, and that's their real strength. Since it was found not too long ago, Alexandrite doesn't have as many old stories as other gems, but it's getting really popular. And because it's so special, it's now a top find for collectors and jewelry lovers. Spiritually, it's connected to the heart chakra, and it's believed to help with inner stability and intuition, and even helps to unlock creative energies. Besides that, Alexandrite is also often linked to the sacral and forehead chakras, so it supports the flow of life energy, emotional security, and mental balance. This crystal is thought to have strong renewing effects, which helps bring back self-esteem and helps you feel new inside, while it also balances your mind, feelings, and spirit. People think that wearing Alexandrite brings joy and calms your feelings and helps in tough times by making your willpower stronger and making you more charming. Other spiritual things the crystal does include bringing out hidden talents and helping your spirit grow, and also making you more creative and better at showing who you are. So, Alexandrite doesn't just help lower everyday stress, but it can also help with a big change deep inside your spirit and becoming more aware. In the very special world of 18th century jewellery, chrysoberyl popped up as one of the most exciting and sparkly gemstones. Back then, mostly in Portuguese and other European jewellery, the yellowish-green colours of chrysoberyl really sparkled in fancy brooches with flower designs, pretty dress pins, stomachers, earrings and necklaces. Jewellery from that time often had designs inspired by nature, fine handwork, and also closed settings with foil on the back. This made the stones sparkle more, especially in candlelight or when worn at night. Chrysoberyl was hard and clear, so it was a great choice because it looked good and lasted a long time. So these jewels became popular not just with the rich folks back then, but also with regular people. Chrysoberyl and Alexandrite are very closely related. Alexandrite is a rare kind of chrysoberyl that has chromium in it, and it became super famous when it was found in Russia in the 1800s. In jewellery from the 1700s, they only used the regular yellowish-green chrysoberyl because nobody knew about Alexandrite back then. Still, these antique jewels were the perfect preview for when Alexandrite, with its color-changing abilities, made the chrysoberyl family even more famous. When Alexandrite was first found in the Ural Mountains, experts also identified it as chrysoberyl, only its special color change made it clear that it was a new, unknown type of gemstone. So, 18th century chrysoberyl jewelry doesn't just remind us of the style and great craftsmanship of that time, but it also paved the way for Alexandrite's later success, since both stones belong to the same amazing mineral family. But Moonstone, now that's a whole other story. There are many legends and myths about Moonstone, and in different cultures people say this mystical stone means different things. In India, tradition says Moonstone came from the moon's light. It's said to give peace, inspiration, and the ability to see the future, especially during a full moon. The ancient Romans thought it was a stone of love and fertility, linking it to Aphrodite, and they believed it helped bring happiness in love. According to an old story, Moonstone is also a dream stone. If you wear it at night, it can bring you amazing visions and dreams that tell the future. It also helps you understand what they mean, especially when the moon is full. Many people believe that if you wear Moonstone, you might get pregnant soon. That's why it also became a symbol for new beginnings and having babies. At first, Moonstone might look gentle and quiet, but it actually has a strong, steady power inside. It's drawn to people who have big responsibilities in life, like being a leader, making important business choices, or working hard for a long time to reach their goals. Moonstone connects with qualities like being patient, liking things neat and tidy, saving money, and being someone others can count on. It's best for people who know what they want and are ready to keep working for it. This stone isn't loud or showy, but it brings a feeling of steadiness, inner strength, and like everything is in order. For those who think about the future, make good decisions and can stick to a goal, Moonstone can be a real friend, not just as jewelry, but for what it stands for too. Moonstone is a feldspar mineral. It's known for the pretty blue and silver streaks of light that run through it. This effect is called adularescence. Adularescence is a special light effect that you mostly see in Moonstone. It shows up as a floating, bluish-white streak of light or glow on the stone's surface, almost like the light is swimming inside the stone. This effect is caused by the Moonstone's layered, delicate structure. It's made up of tiny, microscopic layers of feldspar, and these layers create that mysterious floating light that appears on the stone's surface when you turn it. When light enters the crystal, it bends and scatters across these thin layers. That's what creates this mysterious glow, kind of like moonlight. So adularescence is one of Moonstone's most special light effects. That's why people who make jewelry and people who collect gems really love this stone. Moonstones are never cut with facets, you know, those little flat surfaces. That's because its beautiful play of light shows up best when it's shaped into a smooth, rounded cabochon. Today, Moonstone is mostly mined in Sri Lanka. That's where we find some of the prettiest and most valuable ones in the whole world. You can also find lots of Moonstone in India, and in Myanmar too, which used to be called Burma. And there's Moonstone in Madagascar, Tanzania, and Brazil as well. In these places, they dig up moonstones that come in different qualities and pretty colors, but the ones people want most are still those clear or see-through ones with a bluish shine, and those mostly come from Sri Lanka. Even though Moonstone isn't super rare, the high-quality pieces with a really strong play of light are very sought after. Moonstone showed up in jewelry history even in ancient times, especially in Roman and Greek cultures, where it was used for amulets, signet rings, and fancy pendants, because they believed that the stone was born from the moon's light and gave special protection to the person wearing it. In the Middle Ages, people still really prized Moonstone, mostly in women's jewelry like brooches, rings, and pendants, where it was a symbol of womanhood, fertility, and emotional balance. You'll often see it in silver jewelry made around the late 1800s and early 1900s, like in necklaces and rings, sometimes with designs of wings or plants. It was also often used in the handmade jewelry of the arts and crafts movement, to show a connection to natural shapes and patterns. Artists from the 1800s, like René Lalique, rediscovered the mysterious glow of the Moonstone, and it became a famous part of the Art Nouveau style, especially with silver. Spiritually, people see Moonstone as a symbol of intuition, emotional balance, and feminine energy. It can help release emotional blocks, encourage inner sensitivity, and connect us with natural cycles. On a physical level, it supports hormonal balance, can ease menstrual discomfort, and improve sleep quality. They say that wearing Moonstone increases empathy and understanding towards others, and helps let go of past hurts so we can be more open to new beginnings. People often suggest it for meditation or relaxation exercises because it helps you find inner peace and relieve stress. The moonstone's energy gets especially strong during a full moon, so that's a good time to work with it to help your spiritual growth even more. Also, it can help boost creativity and self-expression, so artists and creators often choose it as a source of inspiration. Alexandrite and Moonstone have taken two totally different paths, but they're both tied to the same month. One reminds you of the bright fancy courts of emperors, while the other carries the quiet magic of the night. Two stones, each sending the same message, just in its own special way. The chance to change, to become something new, and to find balance is always deep inside us. Just like these stones react when the light changes, we can also react to the challenges life brings us. So, when you're picking out jewelry, whether it's for yourself or as a gift, remember that these stones remind us we're able to adapt and grow in any situation. So, a gemstone you choose carefully isn't just a pretty thing, but also a daily buddy that gives you strength, inspiration, and adds a little something special to your everyday. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'll have a new episode for you every month, where we'll explore the world of birthstones together. With stories, jewelry, and some cool expert facts, lots more stones are waiting for us, full of secrets, beauty, and inspiration. Let me know in the comments, which Jewelstone is closer to your heart, the dramatic Alexandrite or the gentle Moonstone? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. See you in the next video.